guys, Dexter here. Welcome to this lesson. A little bit of a 6/8 thing, and I'm going to teach you the groove played straight, but then what you can do is you can kind of swing it and bounce it a bit, and that's what I was doing there. So the groove in 6/8, we've got 6 notes on the hi-hat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're playing a snare drum with, it's going to be the 4th hi-hat. So we're going 1, 2, 3, and then snare drum and hi-hat together, 4, 5, 6, and we've just got some bass drums kind of dotted in there. By the way, if you guys enjoy this groove, check out my 6/8 bass drum bootcamp, where I go into more detail on these kind of funny bass drum placements within a 6/8 groove. And again, that's all kind of accessible through the channel membership stuff, less than $10 a month, and you get access to all the courses and helps you take your drumming onto the next level. Plug done, on with the lesson. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the bass drum placements, we've got a couple of them that are with the hi-hats, but then the tricky ones are the ones that are coming in between those hi-hats there. So we're going to play bass drum and hi-hat together, and then we're going to have hat on its own, kick on its own, hat on its own, kick on its own. So together, hat, kick, and then snare and hi-hat together. So up to there, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then to finish off, we've got a little 3-note phrase, my all-time favourite 3-note phrase for building up bass drum independence, which is hi-hat on its own, bass drum on its own, and then both together. So hat, bass, together. That little 3-note phrase, okay, I've seen it work wonders for all my students that have struggled with bass drum stuff. Boom. Just helps you to apply these groups of 2s into these kind of places in these grooves. So anyway, up to there then. So kick, dagger, dagger, snare, hat, kick together. So once you've got the placement of that groove down, it's then a case of what I was doing at the beginning there was I was swinging it. So rather than, if I just focus on that kind of hat, kick part of the groove, rather than doing it equally, what we're going to do is make the bass drums very slightly later, and you get this bouncy feel. So rather than da-do, we have hat, kick, hat, kick, hat. So after you play the bass drum, you then very quickly into the hi-hat, rather than completely in the middle. So in the middle, straight, then swung. So now it was the other way. Hat, kick, hat. That's it. So it's a tricky concept to understand. It's all to do with kind of triplets, but without going too much into the theory, just think of it as it feels bouncy. So same groove, straight, and then bouncy. Same notes. Straight, bouncy. And the only thing that changes, in fact, everything within the groove stays the same. It's only those bass drums that are on their own. It's just the placement of those 3 bass drums. Just move them slightly later, and all of a sudden you get that kind of bouncy groove. So, and if a song's in kind of swing time, you usually get this kind of swing marking at the beginning. But this one here, I'm leaving it. Try and play it straight, but also see if you can try and put the bouncy kind of side of it on there. But if you're struggling with that concept, again, check out my kind of shuffle courses where I go into basically exactly how the kind of triplet side of things works when you're trying to get into shuffle and swing time. So anyway, but that's the groove. But sounds pretty cool. And then just a case of getting nice and confident with it. Try it with some fills. I always say this for my groove lessons. Learn the groove, but then see if you can do the groove, do a fill, and get back into it. Bearing in mind you got that stupid number at the beginning of 6. 6 is horrible. But so you put that there, it means all your fills are going to be in 6 and 3s and those kind of multiples, rather than 4s and 8s and 16s like we're used to. So just be aware of that. Anyway, going to do a short solo now, putting that kind of bouncy edge on. I'm going to do some fills and things to show you where you can take this groove. It sounds really cool. One thing I like to do with this as well is rather than just do that there, I like to, within those hi-hats, I put a little, very soft little ghost notes. Rather than right, I have a 1, in between all of those hi-hats there, and it just adds a little kind of shaker type sound to it. And then I just stop doing that when I come in to do that loud snare drum. So a little bit more of an advanced thing for you guys that just want to add a little effect to it. So without that, then put those ghost notes in. So again, I'm very loose with it. If you want to get really messy, you can kind of buzz your stick. It just gives it a little bit more, just makes a much bigger sound. So a little bit more of an advanced thing for you guys that just want to kind of salt and pepper all over your groove. Anyway, solo time. Here we go. guys take it easy. If you want to get more into that stuff, again, check out the 6/8 Bass Drum Bootcamp course. I go into a lot of detail with getting those bass drums in there. If you wanted some of those kind of linear chops and things, again, I've got courses and all those as well. Less than $10 a month, guys. Check it out if you want to get better at your drums. You take it easy. See you soon.